watching this. Oh my gosh, she's really breaking down.
I think everybody is in agreement that anybody who committed violence, vandalism, who caused extreme fear on that day needs to pay an appropriate price for what they did.
God bless you, Marjorie.
Every person who took a plea deal on January 6th, as I did, and I think as far as I know, probably 800 of the more than 800 people charged took a plea deal. Every part of the plea deal is everyone is required to interview. Since I am a person who's a high-profile person, I have high-profile friends, naturally they wanted to ask questions about my high-profile friends. As I have maintained since the beginning, I don't have any knowledge of anybody committing any crimes. I don't believe that there was an organized plot from anybody on our side of the aisle to create January 6th. I think that it was a spontaneous riot that broke out. I don't know which side of the aisle initiated it. I have no idea. Did I go in and answer questions? Of course I did. So did every person who took a plea deal.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel once again. Today we are going to talk about Brandon Straka. Now, if you guys do not know who Brandon Straka is, he is the founder of the Walk Away campaign. He basically, it's a foundation that educates and assists people in walking away from the Democratic Party. Okay, now he is a self-proclaimed conservative. I don't think he's a conservative at all. And he's also a gay man. Now, a lot of people are probably going to come for me in this video because there are some crazy Brandon Straka fans, okay? I've had a few of them already come into my DMs once before. When I went to CPAC, I'm going to post a picture here so you guys can see, but he put on quite the display at CPAC. It was an art installation, if you will, of him sitting in a jail cell in an orange jumpsuit, crying, you know, not speaking, crying, while audio recordings of actual J6ers who are locked up in prisons while he walks free played as people watch. Now, I found it quite comical, okay? For those of you guys that don't see through this BS, the reason why I found it comical is because Brandon Straka is not in jail. He is free, a free man. Now, he claims he has just suffered an enormous amount of torture, but he continues to travel all around the world. Meanwhile, there are a lot of people that are in prisons that haven't even been sentenced, that haven't even been seen by a judge yet. He sat up on stage at CPAC. I will, post a video here.
I guess what I could say is that I was present on January 6th, as I think most people know. I was scheduled to be a speaker at the Capitol on that day. I was approaching my scheduled speaking engagement when I began getting text messages from people who were watching at home saying that they were hearing that people were going inside of the building, which made me very curious because that sounded like an unusual circumstance. I was on the east side of the building, which is the opposite side of the building where later we found out people had broken windows and committed acts of violence. When I arrived, the doors on the east side of the building were open. I walked up to the top of the steps and I shot a video for 8 minutes, which I put on Twitter. I never entered the Capitol. I stood on the east side steps for 8 minutes. 2.5 weeks later, an FBI SWAT raided my apartment, put me in handcuffs, and took me to jail. I sat in jail for days, and when I got out, I found out I was facing multiple felony charges and a misdemeanor. And this began what became it hasn't ended. It's actually, in the last couple of weeks, they're coming after me again on new things related to my case, which I thought was over. Because I stood on the East Side steps for 8 minutes, I have been permanently banned by PayPal, Venmo, Stripe, Patreon, email services. I've been put on a terrorism watch list so that when I go to the airport, I have to go through hours of screening.
You see, he spoke in his nice little designer suit, his Gucci glasses, and some Prada loafers. I'm assuming they look like Prada loafers. But yeah, I mean, he literally is full of himself to the utmost extent. So what has come about now, and this is not necessarily new information, but it is now leaked out, and it was a mistake that it leaked out, is that he actually gave up the identity of a lot of people that were there on January 6th to the FBI in exchange for a very cushy plea deal that he got. Okay, so in short, he cooperated with the feds, the same feds that he tells everybody we don't need to trust, by the way. But he, sat down with them. He claims, there was no harm, no foul. He claims, it was just a sit down. I did nothing wrong. Why shouldn't I sit down with them, right? But as my friend Brandon Tatum explained to his wife, is the FBI is not going to bring you in and cut you a plea deal for just some soft information on a few people. You got to be given then some real good stuff to get the type of plea deal that Brandon Straka got. Now, I'm going to read to you this article so that you can understand where we are at with it today, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the entire situation. Vocal Donald Trump supporter and convicted U.S. Capitol rioter Brandon Straka. By the way, the A in his name is silent. I hear a lot of people say Straka. It is Straka. May find himself in hot water with the judge overseeing his case after making statements in public that appear to contradict what he had previously said in court. Okay. Straka, and the comments that they're referring to here are the comments he's been making as of late on his Twitter. Straka, who was sentenced in January to 3 years of probation, including 3 months of home detention, after pleading guilty in October to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge, has been cooperating with government's prosecution of the January 6th attack when Trump supporters rushed the building in an effort to stop Congress from certifying the election. Straka is the founder of the so-called Walk Away campaign, which encourages voters to leave the Democratic Party and support Trump. The fact that his cooperation has been known since December, before he was sentenced. The extent of the cooperation, however, was only recently revealed by accident. Now, I personally think there is no accidents. I think this was G-O-D, honey. I think this was G-O-D intervention all the way. According to prosecutors, Straka provided information about Ali Alexander, who according to the government is viewed by many as the preeminent leader of the Stop the Steal movement. Mr. Alexander may have had direct contact with the executive branch of government and other government officials who are sympathetic to the Stop the Steal movement concerning the orchestration of the events leading up to J6. Straka also is said to have provided information about Dr. Simone Gold, described as a rabid Stop the Steal supporter. Gold was charged with felonies and misdemeanors in connection with her breach of the Capitol. She was recently sentenced to 2 months in jail. Straka also allegedly alerted prosecutors to the alleged participation of Gavin Crowell in the J6 attack. According to the government, Crowell is a convicted sex offender whose presence at the Capitol was not previously known. When news of Straka's cooperation was reported, Straka reportedly received threats that he would go to his grave as a traitor. So people are very, very upset with him, but there's still a lot of people that support him because it just shows like he basically gave up a lot of people to save himself time in jail because he can't cut it in jail because he's just not cut like that. On July 26th, the U.S. District Judge Dabney Frederick had ordered the court clerk to unseal 4 motions filed between December and January to file certain documents under seal. The judge did not order that the attachments to those motions, attachments that contained what she described as very sensitive information, be unsealed. So they made a oops. According to Frederick, however, that's exactly what happened. On July 27th, the documents were posted to the public docket on the DOJ website. When I heard this information, I was concerned that the clerk's office might have accidentally unsealed the sensitive attachments when it unsealed the motions and related orders pursuant to my July 26 order. Frederick said, the clerk's office has since looked into the matter and determined that the clerk's office did in fact accidentally unseal the sensitive information. Frederick, a Trump appointee, said that the clerk's office realized its mistake after 28 minutes and immediately placed the documents back under seal. However, those internet sleuths, they got screenshots super-duper quick. Frederick told defense attorney Bilal Asali and assistant U.S. attorney Brittany Reed that she had seen internet rumors that the members of the media had received a bulk email from the court with the unsealed documents attached, and asked the lawyer if they had any additional information to those claims. So that's even crazier. Like, somebody sent an email to the media. Was it God? I don't have any additional information, Your Honor, Asali said, adding that he had not investigated the matter himself. I appreciate the attention the court has already given to this, and I know that this matter the court will take seriously. Reed said that the government also didn't have anything to add regarding the particular internet rumor. We do not have any information to support these statements, but are being said online. Both parties bear responsibility for this problem by unnecessarily putting highly sensitive information on the court's docket, and the court did not need to ask for Frederick. Court did not need or ask for, Frederick said. I did not need the kind of detailed information that was contained in both the government's motion to seal with the attachment or the defendant's motion to seal, which also had an attachment. These attachments contain highly specific info that wasn't necessary, including names of individuals who were under investigation by the government. Okay? So there's more to this article, but I want to skip down to... So it says here, the judge then turned to the matter of Straka himself, who on July 29th posted a lengthy message on social media website Getter, insisting that he had done nothing wrong and pushing back against the snitch narrative. To me, making the choice to sit down, this is what he said, and answer questions was a no-brainer. Nobody I know committed any crimes, and I have no evidence of any criminal wrongdoing from anybody. I have maintained that since the beginning. Why would I not sit down and answer questions about how my friends did nothing wrong? There is nothing wrong with talking to the DOJ and telling them your friends are innocent. Do you really think that the DOJ is going to be like, hey, we want you to come in and just tell us how you feel? And then he comes in and he's like, I have great friends in this movement and they're all innocent. And then the DOJ is like, thank you very much. You know what? As an appreciation for you taking the time to come out and express your feelings to us, we're going to cut you a plea deal. Hell to the no. Okay? Then he went on to say, if any of my friends were in the position that I was in, I would hope they would convey that I did nothing wrong too. Straka did not appear at the hearing. Asali said his client was traveling and not able to attend. Wow, like he's got a very hectic Travis. I mean, this is something I would definitely show up for. Mr. Asali, it has come to my attention that Mr. Straka has been making questionable comments. This is the judge, okay, as to the truth of his plea and the nature of his cooperation, adding that she would gladly hold an evidentiary hearing to address his claim. Asali demurred, implying that his client has not made questionable comments. That's hard to reconcile with what has been presented to me, Frederick said. So this is the judge talking to, I'm assuming, his legal person. Adding that it is definitely not in Straka's best interest to make contradictory claims in public. He needs to understand he faces exposure for making false statements to federal officers, Frederick said. I suggest you tell him to exercise discretion and that he didn't before January 6th, during January 6th, and after January 6th. Frederick said that she will be asking the probation officer for status reports to make sure he's complying with the court's conditions. And, they also said, let us know if you would like to retract your statement, therefore putting your plea deal in a different situation. Okay. So basically, you know, he's now saying, oh, I just went and I like told them how great my friends were and that they're all innocent. And they're saying, no, you didn't. You gave us a lot of information. So are you now saying that that information wasn't correct? Or what are you saying? Because let's not forget that they are having a whole January 6th committee hearing, which in my opinion is a whole song and dance. But, you know, there are people's lives at stake here. Now, here is my hope. This is why I say God intervened in this situation. And I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how this works legally or what, you know, what could come of this, right? But not only does this put Brandon Straka's plea deal in jeopardy because now he's making contradictory statements, but I would also think it would put the prosecution and their prosecutory actions, if I said that word correctly, against these people that were allegedly there, right, in jeopardy as well. Does that mean that the whole case is thrown out the window? Because typically when you are in court and it is found that information leaked or information was incorrect or not all the information was given at the time, that it now creates what's called a mistrial, right? And does that give these people an opportunity to fight back against using this information? Now that their names have been blasted all over the internet, they can basically see what it is that he said about them. Now I have the unredacted screenshots of the documents, so I know what it says. Now I'm not going to share that here because I don't want to, you know, put those names out there. And I'm also not going to tell you where I got this information, but it is from the actual documents themselves. So that's what I have to say about that. What I want to caution people, those people that still want to sit here and defend this man, okay? Understand this. You guys have to stop falling for the okie doke. You guys have to stop falling for just, you know, the picture of a conservative that you love to see. You know, in this case, he's gay, but y'all love a black conservative too. And just because they're black and they're conservative doesn't mean that they're up to no good. Just because they're gay and conservative doesn't mean that they're up to no good. You guys, if you guys follow Project Veritas, you should have learned by now that there are a lot of people out there that pretend to be a certain way and they are not that way. And many people for a very long time have been screaming from the rooftops that this guy, Brandon, is as fake as they come. He is a grifter, okay? When he was up on stage at CPAC, all he could talk about was how he has now been banned from PayPal and Venmo and any other platform where he might collect money from people that support him and his walkaway campaign, right? That now he can't participate in that stuff. Now, I don't know how people are getting money to him now, but you couldn't tell where his interest was about that topic. Now, he did put on a nice little show where he confronted a congressman on stage about what he has done to help J6ers. But now that you have learned about this story, now that there is proof, I'm not talking about some news article, okay, but there are actual legal document proof that Brandon sat down and made a plea deal with the Department of Justice, okay, to give up people's names. How dare he sit up there and cry about, woe is me, I can't get donations on PayPal, nobody can fund my activities, you know, I'm banned from this, I'm banned from that, my life has been flipped upside down. There are people sitting in a jail cell, okay, since that incident occurred, not seeing their families, not getting seen by a judge. Their lives are ruined. And you have the nerve to sit up there and make this about you? That's how I knew he was fake. These people are frauds. Stop falling for it. Do your research on people. Don't just fall for the exterior of what looks so good. He's a conservative and he says all the right things. Come on. Like, have we not learned anything in these past couple of years? That we have to really be discerning on the types of people that we look up to and the types of people that we support? We have been learning about many a grifter in this movement, okay, in the past couple of years. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. If you're still a Brandon Straka supporter, I definitely want to hear from you, because I want to know how you can possibly still support a man who gave up these people so that he could be free and to live his life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one, and I'll be back very soon. Bye-bye.